Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. The Notorious B.I.G. The only Christopher we acknowledge is Wallace. Raw deal.
He knowing anybody know this. If you got beef and you got problem with somebody, you not going to their backyard. You got cats that got beef in Brooklyn with kids in the Bronx. They not going to the Bronx to beef with them, to chill at their clubs. You got cats who got beef with from Brooklyn, from the Bronx and Manhattan. They ain't going to Brooklyn to beef with kids, to party at their clubs and everything like that. Why the hell Big was gonna go out there anyway? Because he was lured out there. Signing of his contract, the money he needed, and the money he wanted to borrow until he got his money from his contract. There's no reason for that kid to be out there. His album was finished, and why he couldn't finish his album in New York if it wasn't?
Raw deal. The last big night.
Hey, this is Big Gene from Raw Deal, the last big night. I want to thank the people for supporting the first and second installment, and hope you enjoy, well, not really enjoy, but hope this is more informative, the third installment, than the first two. I hope it gave you a light on the atmosphere of what we were going on between Death Row and Bad Boy at the time of Big's and Tupac demise. I appreciate you individuals who have been viewing everything and being supportive and really getting into it, and know that me doing this documentary this year wasn't the first time I started. First and foremost, at the week after Big got murdered, I spoke with Lisa Everett of Street Soldiers back in '97 and we met at a restaurant over by the Beacon Theater, and I was telling her about the incident, what happened out there at California, but it never made the news. I also talked to Conrad Muhammad, who was over the Nation of Islam, the FOIs out here in New York City, based on the fact of the killer, how he was dressed, and the incident that we had with some guys out there from the Nation of Islam. I was on MTV the first time they aired something about the Notorious B.I.G. I was on VH1, Famous Crime Scenes. Also did Biggie Tupac. And each one of those individuals and each one of those companies, I stayed 3 to 5 hours shooting with them, telling the story. But you only got bits and pieces of it. In 2004, a full documentary was done by Ricardo McKendricks Jr., formerly or allegedly a part of the Junior Black Mafia in Philadelphia, he was picked up in 2004 also by the Alphabet Boys for being allegedly a drug dealer, and all the property and everything that was done with the documentary was taken also. So the footage and everything that we had was gone. And it was completely done. Ms. Wallace was a part of it, she was in it, a lot of different other individuals, right? So I went throughout the years trying to get the story out, you know, people paying for me to come and speak and talk about the story on their documentaries or on their footage, their films and everything like that. But the fans was only getting bits and pieces of the story, and I was getting tired of, Puffy actually telling his story and lying by telling his story. He wasn't being truthful at all. And people want to sit there and say, well, and I said this before, he take the humanistic value out of this story because we made some mistakes, and the mistakes that were made took somebody's life, took somebody away from their father, took somebody away from their mother, took somebody away from their friends and their fans. The mistakes that he made. You understand? So, like I said, if you got a chance, if you haven't viewed it and you just turning into the third installment, you may want to go back and check out 1 and 2 and some of the other YouTube things. And anybody who's telling you, and I'm letting you know this right now, I haven't made a dime off none of this. I don't have none of this shit monetized. I'm not one of those individuals who's telling you the truth about or the real reason and all this other shit to get you to come to their sites. And they don't come out their living room. They never been nowhere. Nobody never talked about them. They never been with nobody, but they want to make you believe about the truth about what happened and they wasn't even there. So let me jump into this and get this shit on the road. I left you guys, we was at Andre Harrell's house. I had talked to Puff and to tell him about the information that I had received regarding the guys that are coming to kill us tonight. He tried to make it seem like that on films and records that he didn't know about none of this stuff. When Wolf actually told him, yo, we're not going out there right. I'm not going out there unless we're right. I want to take 2 tour bus of my cats from the Valley, Co-op City, Edomore, all his dudes he had over there, Ock, Prince, Caviar, AKA Ali, you know what I'm saying? All the guys that he knew from up on the hill that time, that he was gonna get a busload, 2 busloads of guys, and it wouldn't have cost nothing because they mans them on the tour bus to get those guys to come and roll with us. So for him to say that he didn't know that we had problems, come on. We had got blamed for, Bad Boy had got blamed for Suge Knight man dying in Atlanta. Bad Boy had got blamed, for running with the cats who killed Tupac. So he had to know going out to Cali, somebody gotta die. Those guys in California was not gonna let anybody from Bad Boy or even New York that they knew come out there and party, have fun, be with their girls, drink up, and go back to New York and without nobody being touched. Anybody with common sense knew that. So you had to be out there for Cali for a reason. And people think, yo, Big was a fool for being out there. He shouldn't have been out there. Big was trying to support his family, bruh. Big was trying to get money on his contract and get money from Puff. He was working on Puff album out there. Puff had him come out there to work on his album. Like I said before, Big album was completed. He was working on Puff album. Why? They got plenty of studios in New York. So he out there working on Puff album. So not to jump the gun, let's get back to Andre Harrell's house. Puff know from me that I said it. He told me, Gene, you ain't gotta go. Paul was right there when I told Puff. Paul offered, he was right there when I told Puff. He just looked at me and put his head down. I walked away. Went into the next room, the other guys in there. I bang on the table after I make my phone call to my brother Slick and told him, these guys talking, oh, we lock and load. I went through that whole thing with y'all. I go outside. And to my surprise, Big sitting in the car right there in the driveway. Lil C's behind him. On part 2, I told you what I said. After I said what I said, next thing you know, Puff is coming right out the door. Talking about, come on, y'all, let's go. So we all load up to go to the vibe party. Big had a friend that was driving also outside our convoy, and it was some cat in a Land Cruiser. It could have been white or off-white pearl color with Pennsylvania plates. He was also riding with us. So we all go and we on our way to the vibe party. So we get to the door, and by surprise, guess who I see? Chris Lattimore. Chris Lattimore and Puff is in business on parties all over the country. And all over parts of third world, because they did the Cancun thing for years. You understand? At Daddy-O's. I used to be at the front door at Daddy-O's, you know, making sure everybody get in. So I see Chris Lattimore, and that's when the light bulb ring. I say, oh shit. Puff trying to get big at this party because him and Chris Lattimore is breaking out some kind of money because they getting paid to do this from Vibe. So they gotta get big here. You understand? And I stood right there and I just looked at Chris. And he said, how many guys you got? I said, I don't know. So I stood at the door while everybody got in, and it was 23 of us all together, right? So we went up there, and he took us upstairs. Like I said, Big had to really take his time because I know now the bones, his femur or fibular bones are broken in his thighs or fractured. You understand? So we taking our time. We go to the very back, the very end of where the party's at. We got a table set back there. You understand? So I see Ed Lover, and they got another DJ in there, but Ed Lover, he's the MC on the microphone and everything like that. Say what else, Ed? We continue to the back, we go back there and we sit Big and them down. Puff told the guy, yo, bring me all the bottles you got. I don't care, bring me all the bottles you got left. You understand? And we're sitting down. I'm the individual that's directly behind the Notorious B.I.G. And if you ever see the picture, it was Ed Lover, Big, Puff, and they got my head cut off, but I got a number 4 and a Mecca Audio shirt because not Mecca Audio, a Mecca shirt, because I used to always wear Mecca things. Puff used to get mad at me. He wanted us to wear Sean John, or he wanted to wear his stuff, and I would never wear it. I would wear Mecca. I used to like Mecca stuff. Mecca had some, some fly shit back in the day. And they used to, keep me with boxes and fresh jerseys and everything like that. So I used to wear their stuff. And Puff used to get mad at me. Man, listen to him, I ain't no billboard for you. You understand? And then he was like, yeah, he knew that he couldn't run me like that. You understand? Listen, only thing ever been regular about me was the gas I pump. You understand? I enjoy dressing how I wanted to do it. And Sean John wasn't a thing for me. So now, even though later on Wolf used to make sure that I got boxes and everything like that, because at the time I was only getting, a few things here and there. But then Wolf was like, yo, Gene should be getting boxes too. So, either go down there and mail them to you and everything like that. So we back at the vibe party, and I'm behind Big. So Puff told me, yo, don't go nowhere. Stay directly behind, stay with Big all the time. I looked at him, and he was running back and forth in the party. You understand? Going up to the DJ booth and everything like that. And they just started playing Hypnotized like crazy. You understand? And, Puff was coming, bringing girls up to Big and everything like that. He said, he's telling Big, yo, Big, we're going to give a swim party at Andre Harrell house tomorrow. You understand? I'm getting these girls, I'm picking out girls at the crowd to come. And he'll bring the girls over. He said, yo, Gene, she gonna come to the party tomorrow. And so then I said, yeah, all right. So then he'll run back, leave again, you understand? And Big was over there drinking and everything. So Big told Lil C's, yo, Lil C's, go find some smoke. Cause they didn't even have no smoke, you know what I'm saying? So he said, Lil C's, go find some smoke. So Lil C's went out and C's brought 3 girls back. And I think they may have been from Brooklyn, I'm not for sure, but I think they overheard them say they had family in Brooklyn or they were from Brooklyn. So they stayed on the right side of Big at the time, and then they moved over towards the left side. So D-Rock came over to me, and D-Rock said to me, he said, yo, Gene, I ain't never seen you look like this. What's up, bruh? I said, yo, Rock, these niggas is coming at us tonight. And Rock said, yeah, all right, man, I got you. He stayed to the right side of Big, like looking at Big the whole time, didn't take his eye off of him and didn't move. Rock ain't drink nothing, Rock ain't smoke nothing. He kept his eye on Big the whole time. You understand? And I was behind Big. So what I did was I took Nina and put her under my shirt and I kept her in my hand the whole time. You know, I was behind Big. So Puff would come back every once in a while and be like, yo, Gene, remember her? Yo, Gene, remember her? Yo, and Big said, how the fuck is Gene gonna remember all these girls you bringing up? So then Puff went away again. And so he started, you know, going to the DJ booth and they steady was playing Hypnotize, you know, and one guy came up, he had a Death Row pin on, he had a suit on. He said, yo, man, you know, I'm from Death Row, but I just want to let y'all know, yo, I just want to meet Big. Yo, Big, this shit is about the music, bruh. You know what I'm saying? All this other shit, I can give a fuck about it. Big said, yeah, all right. So then these other group of guys came from, and I remember them, and it was Keefy D. It was Keefy D and a couple other dudes, you know what I'm saying, like that was with him. And Big got like he didn't even know him or he didn't remember him or something like that. And I remember him because we were shooting dice in the hotel in Vegas and we were shooting dice in the hotel in California. You understand? He was come up there with D-Mac and he would come with, and Tretch would come up there. Tretch came up there one time and they were shooting dice. It was all us, it was Tretch, Keefy D, D-Mac, me, and Puff was in his room at the time, and Tretch had OJ daughter on his arm. She's a fine little thing. I forgot her name again. I don't know if it was Olivia or something like that. I don't remember OJ daughter's name, but she was with Tretch. But she was nice. Tretch used to, we was on the road with Tretch on that Jodeci tour, and he was the man all the time. He would go out with us to the parties and everything like that. We have time off, we rip and run. But Tretch always was nice. And Tretch used to always like to gamble with Puff. They used to do some old dumb shit, whereas they'll throw 10,000 down and say whoever got the highest roll. You know, one roll. Whoever threw the highest, they pick up the money. I was like, oh shit. So when Puff came out the room, they started that shit again, and I just got out the dice day. I'm not losing my money like that. Fuck that one roll shit. Nah, I'm not doing that. So that's when I met Keefy D and them at the hotel from gambling. And I remember him, you know what I'm saying, because all us went to Vegas one time, you know what I'm saying, from out the concert. They were doing a concert in Vegas. So we left LA we all drove down to Vegas like that to do this little concert thing. And remember them from the hotel and gambling. So I said, yo, Big, this is Keefy and them like that. They some shot callers out here like that. Big said, yo, what's up, man? What's going on? Gave him a pound and everything like that. And that was it. They stayed, you know, to the right side over there behind like D-Rock. You understand? So next thing you know, the, party jumping and everything like that. And I, put Nina away and I wrote on a piece of paper, and this shit is like some fucking serious satire. I put, I'll remember on the paper. So Puff came on and said, yo, Gene, make sure you remember her. And Big say, look behind me, say, man, you ain't gonna fucking, Gene, for real? And then I put the paper up like this, I'll remember. And Big started laughing. You understand? That kid started laughing. And, they started smoking with the girls that were either from Brooklyn or they knew somebody from Brooklyn. It was 3 of them. And they started smoking with them. They was laughing. They was having fun. And we up in the museum where it was like cars that was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. You understand? So next thing you know, they start saying that the fire department is going to shut the party down because it was too much smoke. It was too much smoke. So that's what they did. They shut the party down. So when the party got shut down and we said that we were going to, leave, we made that decision that we started to leave. I knew it was going to take Big them a certain time to get down the steps because of this situation. So what I did was I gave Nina to Paul and I said, yo, Paul, watch Big. I'll be right back. So when I went downstairs, I got the drivers. They had, Kenny and G them. We had the 2 Suburbans right in front of the door. So when you hear Lil C say, our Suburbans drove up and stuff nah, they was already downstairs before we even got there because I made sure they was in front of the door that we came into so we'll leave and we could just jet up out of there. So now, Big is taking his time to get downstairs and everything like that. It was 23 of us. When I counted, it was 11. So I'm like, yo, where are all these motherfuckers who was with us? And they talking about we lock and load together. And where they at? They had already made a decision to go to Steve Stout's house because he was giving a swim party and a pool party in one of the mansions up in the hill in Cali. So they had already left us there. So that 23 that we was locking and loading together had turned into 11. You understand? So now we come downstairs, Big gets in his car. Puff don't get in the car yet. Puff is acting like he looking for somebody and looking like he's steady trying to go get girls to bring them up to me so we can leave. So I'm like, this ain't like dude right here. When Puff leave a party, if security ain't ready and the driver there, he will jump in there and leave your ass. This is this kid M.O. I've been with him for years, but Puff is looking back and forth and going to get girls. And then I'm like, yo, Big, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Why we ain't leaving? He said, yo, check your man. And I'm like, yo, Puff, what's up? He said, we got to wait for Paul and them to get their car out. And I was like, wait for Paul and them? Paul and them ain't got their car? This guy is an Inglewood police officer. How he having problems getting his car? He from out there. You understand? Flash your badge, tell him to go get your shit, and that's it. Matter of fact, you should have been had your car. So now we drive to the opposite side of the museum. Now, on the other side, it's the fire department, the police department, because some ruckus or something had happened all the way on the other side. See, people got it confused. They say it was 1,000 people out at the museum and they got let out. Nah, bruh. They was on the whole other side of the museum. You understand? We was on the opposite side and there was nobody out there. It was nobody to the right side of that museum because when we pulled out to the driveway, we stopped. We waiting for Paul and the guy from Inglewood to get their truck out. Any other time, Puff would have left them, called them on the cell phone and told them, yo, this is where we at. This is the address. This is where we going. But he stood right there. So Puff is in the driveway of the museum. Big is right directly behind him. You understand? We waiting for Paul's car. We waiting for Paul and them to get in their car. So now Puff is sitting in the car. So I'm playing the wall, watching Puff. And this one guy comes up. He has a white T-shirt with blue stripes. So he just came through and walked through the museum like that. So I looked at him, was nothing. He left, looked at the museum, stuff like that, then he went back down the street. I said, okay. So I said, went to Paul. Paul still had my girlfriend with him. You understand? I said, Paul, you see the guy in the blue and white shirt? He said, nah, what's up? I said, nothing. You know what I'm saying? He said, Puff, all right. I said, yo, Puff good. He's straight. So we stood out there. They still having a problem getting their car. So this other guy comes up. He has the blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie, peanut hair. He walks up there like he walking towards Puff's car. You understand? At this time, I got Nina under my shirt, because listen here, I know how the boys in Cali roll. My brother used to be out there in Sacramento. You understand? And them niggas do drive-bys, bike-bys, whatever. You understand? And I go by this law all the time. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So I got that shit right up under my shirt. You understand? And dude walks up, and he's about 10 feet from Puff car and from me. And I lowered my arm, and he looked me dead in my face. I looked him in his face. He ain't say nothing. Now, the reason why I'm looking like, because I'm thinking he doing security out there, because he dressed like he from the Nation of Islam. But I still remember, you know, the situation we had with the Nation of Islam inside Soul Train. And I still remember what Mustafa told me, that's Farrakhan's son. He said, when a brother from the Nation of Islam look you in the eye, he is taught to humble himself by saying, Assalamu alaikum. This motherfucker ain't said nothing. So right now, I'm on point with him. He looked me in the eye, and he know at this time, if he does something, he ain't getting paid for me doing nothing to me. He don't get no kudos for that. If he coming to do something, he turns and walk right back down the street which he came from. And I seen him walk away until he got out of my sight. You understand? So now I go to Paul. I say, Paul, is the Nation of Islam doing security here? You know that? He's like, yo, I don't know. I said, yo, this dude just walked up to Puff's car. And he said, yeah? I said, yeah, he walked up to Puff's car. He said, what happened? I said, nothing. He good again, right? So now I said, are we ready? He said, yeah. So now we drive onto the side of the museum. Now his car's parked all the way along the side of the museum, all the way to the corner. We on the side of those cars, right? So the first 5 or 6 cars, there was nobody in those cars. I checked, I seen, was nobody in those cars. It was about 4 or 5 cars up in front of us. I didn't go check those cars. You understand? So now we on the side of the museum and we about ready to go. So I go, Paul and them is in their car now. I say, yo, Paul, you straight? You straight. I said, you all right? He said, you all right. Paul give me, no, he still had Nina. He still had my girlfriend with him. You understand? I said, yeah, all right, cool. I said, we're about to go. He said, where we going? I said, we're going to Steve Stout's house. You know, Puff got a call and they got a party up there in the hills or whatever like that. You understand? He said, yeah, we going out? I said, yeah. I said, we ready? We ready. So now Puff get in the car. You know, Puff is already in the car and everything like that. So then Puff is telling me to get in the car. I said, yo, dog. I said, y'all just go ahead. I'm going to ride on the side of the car. At that time, you know what I'm saying, I'm 6'7". I was 265. I'm 6'7", 315 now. At the time, I was 265. I was a lot lighter. So I said, yo, I'm going to ride on the side of the car till we get the next 3 blocks. Puff was like, yo, Gene, we don't need that. I said, what are you talking about? We don't need that. He said, yo, Gene, we don't need that shit. I said, yo, bro, don't tell me how to do my job. He said, yo, Gene, if you don't get in this car right now, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy again. I said, bro, you gonna tell me how to do my job? He said, yo, Gene, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy again. So all those little pictures you see and everything like that, and Puff car getting ready, taking off, I'm the last one getting in the car, you understand? Because we had that exchange right there. You understand? And I got in the car. Now this motherfucker got his seat all the way back. I'm 6'7". He got his seat back. So and like that, he doing that shit on purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So now I'm on the seat, you know, with my legs sideways. You understand? Because this motherfucker won't let his seat up. I tell Kenny was our driver at the time. He's from California. And I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. He said, why? I said, Kenny, let me drive then, bro. If you ain't gonna run the next 3 lights, let me drive. And Kenny said, yeah, all right. So now we run the light. After I checked the scene with Paul, everybody good, yeah, everybody straight, everybody fine. Paul said, yeah, everybody fine. We go and we run that light. As we run the light, Tone, who's in the car with me and Puff, Tone said, Bignum ain't coming. Bignum stopped at the light. So Tone could see, because Tone was sitting behind me. I could only see in front of me and to the side because I couldn't turn all the way around because of my legs. Tone said, yo, Bignum ain't coming through the light. Those 3 girls that was on the side that Bignum was talking to, you understand, at the party, they were still talking to him downstairs as we was on the outside. So I guess they were still talking to him on the corner. You understand? Now, we run the light. Bignum stopped at the light. It was a flashing red light. Bignum stopped at the light, right? The car that was parked on the corner and Bignum got ready to take off is the car. Listen to what I'm saying. It was the car that parked on the corner of the museum. We never left the museum. Bignum never left the museum when Big was shot. So when Lil C's and everybody say, your car pull up, yeah, the car did pull up. He was right parked at the corner. The car was parked at the corner. So when Lil C's got ready to take off, he got ready to make the right there. Already parked there. Been parked there all night. It was a setup. Nothing beats an ambush. It was a setup. That car was parked there all night. So dude pulls to the side like this and start blasting. Tone say, yo, somebody pointing a gun at Bignum. He sees everything. I'm trying to turn around. So now I go to open my door. When I go to open the door, you hear something go, bap, 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 bap. The fucking Kenny guns the gas. Not going back, going forward. I'm like, yo, Kenny, what the fuck is you doing, bro? He said, yo, somebody shoot. Yeah, they shooting that big nigga. Turn this motherfucker around, Kenny. Kenny, we don't know he just said they shooting at Bignum. You understand? So now, Kenny stops the car, backs up, do a U-turn, turn the corner, and start driving towards Bignum. This motherfucker takes off to the right, driving. He takes off, driving. We stopped the car right in front of Big's car. Puff talking about he ran to the fucking car. Motherfucker, you got out right in front of the car. Because when the guns went off, you grab your fucking head, put your head down in the motherfucking seat of your car. I'm looking at your ass. Tone is looking back, Stevie J is looking back, and I'm trying to look back. So we got in front of Big's car. Puff runs around our car and go to Big's side. Now, I'm behind Puff. Everybody in Big car is going to look like a fucking airplane. All the doors is open, except Big's. Puff said, yo, you hit, man, you all right? You all right? You all right? Big, you all right? Big ain't say a motherfucking word then. You understand? Big ain't saying nothing. Tone say, yo, Gene, come on. Me and Tone hops in the car. Tone backs that motherfucker up. He start flying. We see the car going down, going up the street. Tone trying to push that shit. Tone doing 90. He trying to do 100, but every time he trying to do this fucking 100, the car go, had a government chip in that motherfucker. Then anytime you try to do over 100, that shit'll go all the way back down. Tone was cussing like a motherfucker saying, yo, I wish I had my truck. I wish I had my motherfucking truck, man. This shit is crazy. You understand? So we steady trying to get close to this motherfucker. We couldn't get close to this motherfucker. We see this nigga, this dude in the car, take a motherfucking right at the top of the hill or top of it like that, and then we get up there, he gone. Tone, I said, yo, Tone, let's get back, man. Them niggas might need us. So we get back to the museum. They still in the same place. I said, anybody call the police? Anybody call 911? Stevie J said he called them and everything like that. You understand? So then D-Rock and them, before I left, before I left, D-Rock said, oh shit. He grabbed his motherfucking head like this. He said, yo, they got my man. They got my motherfucking man. You understand? So now we back at the scene. Me and Tony's back at the scene. They still haven't made the decisions. No ambulance there. There's no fire trucks. There's nothing. The ambulance, the fire truck was on the other side of the museum. It was still nobody out there. Wasn't no crowd grounding around or none of that shit. So now, me being who I am, I go back to the museum. You understand? In the driveway. You understand? So I'm posted up and I'm just listening. They ain't made a move yet. So I'm in the corner right by where Puff, we came out the museum, and I see DJ Quick on Everything I Love. DJ Quick is on his cell phone. You understand? And DJ said, yo, one of them niggas from Bad Boy got shot. I think they got them niggas. Yo, they said they was gonna get him. They said they was gonna get him. Came straight out his mouth. Came straight out of DJ Quick. I'm looking dead at him. So now I'm going towards him. He see me coming towards him. Nigga Paul run down, grab me. Yo, Gene, we about to go, man. Come on, why the fuck you down here? I was like, yo, man, all right. So then we run back to the car. Now we go back to the car, and we hop in the car. Puff is in the car with Big and them. So I said to them, right there, Puff was on the side right there, still consoling Big, saying something like, and Kenny got in their car now. Kenny was our driver at first. Puff said, you know where the hospital at? You know what hospital? Because I guess they got tired of work waiting for the ambulance and everything. You understand? He said, well, you know where the hospital? Kenny said, yeah, I know where the hospital at. Now, we didn't know this at the time. A hospital was 2 blocks away. It was 2 blocks away. Puff got in the car. Now he's in Lil C's seat where Lil C's was at, behind Big. I said, whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. Don't let Big get to sleep. He was hit. I said, don't let him go to sleep. Keep talking to him. Keep him up. Don't let him go to sleep, whatever you do. Kenny said to Big, yo, Big, I'm going to get you to the hospital. Big put his head back and his eyes went to the top of his head and he said, just do it, man. That's the last thing I heard him say. So when Lil C's talk about he ain't say nothing, the man told Kenny, just do it. Put his head back and he said, just do it. So now we following Kenny and them to the hospital. Tone is cussing his motherfucking ass off. Saying, what's wrong with Kenny? Let's see, talking about, we was driving, going up on top of the curb and shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. Tone is my witness. Tone said, what Kenny going? Why is he driving like that? He should be running lights, dodging and everything like that. He was doing that. He'll stop at the fucking light, then wait and see if it's all clear, then go in the whole 9 yards. Come on, man. Tone said, I wish I knew where the hospital was at. Tone, ask him. He know I ain't lying. He said, I wish I knew where the hospital was at. So we driving this motherfucker and stuff like that. And Tone them come like, yo, this shit is playing out in my motherfucking head. I didn't know who did the shooting at the time or none of that. This shit is playing out in my head. I'm like, oh shit. You understand? So now We get to the hospital. Somebody running the hospital. They get the gurney with the attendant, the doctors, and everybody run out. So we got to get Big out the car. So now we open the door. I'm on the right side of Big. I think D-Rock is inside. He got to lift him up, and Paul is on the left side. Yo, so we trying to move Big legs off. So when we go to move his legs, I see that he had urinated and his pants was wet all around. So I dropped his leg. Like, oh shit. And I said to myself, yo, this kid is dead. And then I got back on top of it and I grabbed him. And when I grabbed him and as we lifted him, I could smell that he had defecated on himself. So I knew he was dead. So I was fucked up. So we get him on the thing, they rush him inside. So now, I guess they was on the phone and the hospital and those 23 motherfuckers who was locking and loading with us, they done made it to the hospital, left Steve Stout house and everything like that, or they just made or didn't make it or whatever like that. And it's all these motherfuckers in the emergency rooms talking shit, talking about, yo, that's Notorious B.I.G. I was like, yo, y'all get the fuck out this hospital right now and let these people do their fucking job. Clear this motherfucker out, because the hospital people was trying to clear him out, you understand, but they wasn't doing that and they was making a lot of noise and there was other patients, there was other people there. You understand, something like that? So I helped them clear a motherfucker out the hospital. So when they clear out the hospital, I go and I get on my phone. I'm calling Unc, calling Zip, and I'm calling Chaz. Chaz is telling me, yo, I'm on my way over there, man. I was on my way over to the museum, you understand? But I'm on my way over there now, you understand? Chaz got a couple of cars with dudes all in and everything. He know the deal, you know. He said, y'all gonna be all right, man. You just, yo, Gene, I'm on my way. I said, all right, cool. Unc talking about, yo, I'm on my way. Everybody talking about they on their way. So now I go back into the hospital, you know, I go back into the room like that. So you know, this Puff runs out the hospital door
In the emergency
from the
room.
back.
The nigga Puff came out and he grabbed my arms. And when he grabbed both of my arms, he said, yo, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. I said, I pushed his hands down. I said, pray for what? That nigga's dead. And walked out the hospital door.
And I didn't mean it in the way, I was just hurt, because nigga, you ain't listen to me. You knew somebody had to die. You knew coming out to Cali, you know, after we've been blamed for the Suge Knight's a man in Atlanta, after we was blamed for dealing with the people, you understand, who killed Pac. You understand? You knew somebody had to die, bro. And if you didn't know, nigga, you should have known. So I pushed his hands off me, you understand, and walked back out the hospital door. So now, come back in. Paul said, yo, Gene, we got to get Puff to San Diego. They about to fly him out. I said, what? He said, yeah, we about to get Puff to San Diego. They're gonna fly him out. Andre Harrell is setting them up so they could get him on a jet in San Diego, on a private jet to fly him out. I said, what about everybody else? He's like, I don't know, man. I said, yeah, all right, cool. So everybody loads up except C's, D-Rock, and the media people that was with Big and them. And we about to take Puff to San Diego. Me and Groovy Lou go back to the hotel, you understand, and pack all of his shit up. You understand? pack all Puff shit up and everything like that, because the night before that, he had company. You understand? And then Groovy Lewis finna pack her shit up. I said, that ain't Kim shit, nigga. You better not pack that in Puff shit. You understand? Because Sally Richardson had left that shit there the night before that. Because she was at the party with us, because Puff want to show the fuck off. He got Kim, Sally Richardson, them sitting right there at the motherfucking same table, at the same one, act like he's some kind of boss ass nigga with his baby mama and his mistress's girlfriend right there at the same motherfucking time, nigga. You showing off and this kid die because you want to show your motherfucking ass off at some fucking vibe party. We get all that shit up. I throw her shit in the garbage and everything like that. Lou taking shit like that. I stay at the motherfucking hotel because Chaz was following us. Chaz was following us with a convoy of people. And Paul stopped the motherfucking van and said, yo. I said, what's up? He said, yo, who that? I said, nigga, that's Chaz and them. Nigga, I called them. He said, yo, Puff said we don't need all that. I said, nigga, we don't need all that. Nigga, Big just got killed. What the fuck you don't mean we need all that? We don't know who gonna roll up on us, bruh. So, Chaz and them see me back to the hotel. It was at the Beverly Hills. And the next day, I hear Puff has already made it to motherfucking New York. Chaz and them they took me out to some garlic steakhouse and everything. And he was like, yo, listen, man, you ready to go? They put me on the plane and everything like that. And I come back to New York. And that's when, my phone is on fire, everything is going up. I'm calling, while I was out there, I called Slick, I called Shay. I was telling her, yo, little Shay, Big got killed, 'cause she used to come to all our, she used to hang out and, be out there, smoke with them in the whole 9 yards, and just be at all the parties, a good friend of mine. I called a couple family members, people that I knew, and they couldn't believe it. They said, yo, that shit is all over the radio. All over the radio. So, that's what happened. And you know about the part with Big funeral and stuff like that, and I wasn't able to go to Big funeral. You understand? Because Bad Boy and Puff and them, through, his office and his team, the people who was handling the media and everything like that, and the questioning and everything like that, they kind of made it seem like I had something to, because I knew something. Nigga, who didn't know something was going to happen? Anybody could have told you that those cats was not going back to their block and say, yo, we let Bad Boy and them come out here and party. We let Bad Boy and them come out and nothing happened to nobody. Niggas couldn't even go back to their block with that shit. Cause the motherfucker Punk would have told them straight up and down, how the fuck you gonna beat me up and shit like that? You ain't do none of them niggas from Bad Boy when they came out here and party. They came out here, smoked their weed. They came out here, fuck y'all girls. They came out here drunk and had a good time in California, and y'all ain't do nothing to them. But you gonna beat me up? What a nigga gonna say? They knew they had to do something. You knew they had to do something. Somebody had to die, bruh. So, I was the scapegoat. They told the LAPD, my whole government, where I worked at. They came to my job. You understand? They told the FBI, Phil Carson. He came to my job. They didn't tell Ms. Wallace. God works in mysterious ways. Ms. Wallace kept saying, they said, ask Gene Deal, ask Gene Deal, ask Gene. He knew something was going to go down. She asked Puffy, yo, Puff, who is Gene Deal? Who is Gene? He said, I didn't know. I don't know who Gene was. You didn't know who Gene was? You told the LAPD. You told the FBI. But what happened, my fraternity brother, Bill Withers, he used to bodyguard Michael Jackson. He used to bodyguard Don King. But his last big job was Michael Jackson. He was there when Michael, was murdered, what I'm saying, died. So Bill said, Ms. Wallace, I know Gene Deal. That's my fraternity brother. I'll call him right now. So he called me. She had made it back from LA, and I went to see her. I told her everything, what happened. I even told her part how big was found in the car. And she said, I seen tears come to her eyes. She said, I don't want to hear that. I said, Ms. Wallace, I just gave it to you 100 so you could say that I didn't tell you that or you didn't hear that, I just gave you everything 100. I'm sorry. She said, I don't want to hear that no more. So I'm sitting here in this black suit and I'm burying this part of my life. A friend of mine said to me, and this guy, he's well known. He used to be really known for slapping DJs. He said to me, you can't blame yourself. You told Big, you told Puff, and they knew better. But I understand Big needed the money, because he was in between contracts. He was scratching for money. He was asking for money. He was getting a loan from Puff actually when he was out there so he could take care of his business until his contracts come through. So, he said to me, my friend said, you can't blame yourself, Gene, because it's a certain thing that faith and that things just gonna happen and transgress. A lot of us can't do nothing about it. You just gotta go with it. And I said to him, bruh, in my mind, I knew it was dangerous. I knew it was wrong. But I was thinking about the paycheck. I was thinking about that this nigga wasn't gonna pay me if I didn't go to that party with them. I was thinking about that this nigga wasn't gonna pay me if I didn't get in the car with them. I should have manned the fuck up and said, yo man, fuck you, fuck your money. And maybe it gave Big a out. And Big would have said, yo nigga, your own security ain't going, your own man ain't going. How the fuck you want me to go? I didn't give that man that out inside me. And that's gonna always fuck with me. I didn't give that kid that out. So, whether it was God's plan or it was meant to be, I want people to know, whenever you feel deep down inside that something is right and you shouldn't do it, or you should do it, no matter what the motherfucking consequences, don't let a dollar make your sense. Because God don't watch nothing but fools and babies. Thank you for watching Raw Deal. The last big night. Good night and goodbye.
Let it out, y'all know I was coming. We gon' get it right the first time. It's a natural reaction. They start mixing the facts in. They put their story with your story, like that's really what happened. Women front for these fellas, fellas front for these women. It's a trait that's passed down from old heads right down to their children. Homie, don't be surprised, like you not living a lie. When them shells dump you, you die, cause you be stunting and why? Look at me right in the eye, knowing you telling a lie. You go to hell and you fry, you won't be seeing your guide. Pretty and yellow Hummers, they riding 22s. I seen these cats off in the club with nobody like woo. Say these brothers some fools, thinking this stunting is cool. You should keep it real if it's something you know you don't do. If you don't really got it, don't gotta lie to get it. Don't tell me one thing out your mouth, you know it's something different. A lot of eyes is watching, a lot of ears is listening. You get caught up in your own lie, cause we paying attention. If you don't really got it, don't gotta lie to get it. Don't tell me one thing out your mouth, you know it's something different. A lot of